Rather lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. We're going to be diving into the latest around Arsenal. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Arsenal have sent in a 55 million euro bid to Shakhtar Donetsk officially, and that has been received. No response yet from Shakhtar, but the feeling around this deal is that the bid will be accepted. Maybe a few times to be changed here and there, but the deal will actually happen. I'm going to be talking about Cody Gakpo to Liverpool on a bargain. 37 million euros. 37 million euros. It's a crazy deal. It's an absolute bargain. We're going to be talking about that. Joao Felix to Arsenal. Transfer talks continue between Arsenal and Atletico Madrid. There is a high possibility now that Arsenal get Joao Felix and MYKHAYLO Modric. What a winter transfer window that one will be. And of course, we're going to be diving into Mikel Arteta because he's told the bosses he wants January signings to be done quickly. He wants January signings to be done as soon as possible. So we're going to be diving into much of that. Hit the like button for me. Let's get this video to 400 likes. Subscribe to the podcast as well. We are 200 subscribers away from 61,000 subscribers. All right, so make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. You're turning on notifications because January is here, and if you don't want to miss any transfer update, any transfer story, this is the channel for you. You always know that. Now let's get into it. Fabrizio Romano yesterday, alongside Charles Watts and the Athletics' David Ornstein, confirmed that Arsenal have officially sent in a bid now for MYKHAYLO Modric to Shakhtar Donetsk. Now the sources do not actually confirm how much money we are willing to pay, but they say the deal is in the region of 55 million euros to 65 million euros. Arsenal would love to pay around 50 million euros in guaranteed payments, and the rest of the money should be coming in what you call add-ons. Should be coming in what you call add-ons, in bonuses and things like that, if the player actually does very well. So Fabrizio yesterday said that Arsenal really optimistic that the deal will happen. David Ornstein also said the same thing, that many people around this deal, many people close to the deal, feel that if Shakhtar do not outrageously and dramatically change, or increase the price, they will actually sell the player to Arsenal and a deal will be happening. Now, what I want to also point to here, guys, is what happened yesterday when Arsenal were playing. MYKHAYLO Modric went onto his Instagram and did something very unique. He posted Arsenal, and he posted that he was actually watching Arsenal on Setante Sports. Now that is on a degree disrespectful to Shakhtar Donetsk, but that is also to a degree a message to Shakhtar that I don't want to be in this place. This is where I actually want to be, right? But it also could be a message that this deal is actually agreed. This deal is just a matter of hours away from happening. But I don't want to jump onto any conclusions. There is no agreement between Arsenal and Shakhtar, but there is an official bid onto the table. Now, I did report, I think it was 2 days ago, that Arsenal are willing to splash over 60 million euros on MYKHAYLO Modric, and they're and probably around 20 million euros on Youri Tielemans. But it seems like we will be spending around 65 million euros on this guy. So the budget for January means that Arsenal will be paying around 30 million euros upfront in January, and then the rest of the money will be coming in installments as the deal will be structured. So that has been confirmed by Charles Watts, David Ornstein, and the big Fabrizio Romano. Now, this is what I'm going to say, guys. This is what I'm going to say, and I've already said this. This is a very difficult deal to do, especially that the team involved actually doesn't want to sell at a low price, okay? Actually doesn't want to sell at the right price. It's very different from what we saw with Liverpool and Cody Gakpo. We'll talk about that later in the video. But PSV were willing to accept the real value of this guy, which is 37 million pounds, okay? Now, if Shakhtar at any point in time decide that we're going to be selling MYKHAYLO Modric at his real valuation, which is around 50 to 60 million euros, this deal dramatically becomes easy. This deal dramatically happens at a very terrific speed. So will the bid be accepted, Cossy? That's the question that you guys are having right about now. Now, we don't have any response from Shakhtar. They're still a little bit quiet. And I think they're still valuing and evaluating the bid. They are looking at two things. One, is it enough to take the player away from Shakhtar right now? I think it is enough, okay? And two, if they reject the bid, are there chances that Arsenal will come back with an improved bid? Because what Arsenal have been all about in the previous 2 summers is we come in with the right amount of money that we want to pay for a player. And if you reject the bid, we actually walk away. I don't remember so many players where we made a first bid, a second bid, and maybe a third bid. You look at Fabio Vieira, one bid like this, and then it was all over. The deal was done. You look at Gabriel Jesus, maybe 2 bids, maybe, but it was all about negotiations. And when Arsenal sent in the bid, it was actually accepted. It was 1 bid. You look at all these other players. Maybe it was Ben White, where we went in with a second bid. Martin Odegaard, 1 bid. Aaron Ramsdale, maybe 2 bids for Aaron Ramsdale, as far as I remember. So they will be thinking, if we reject this bid, do Arsenal come back? Right? And we're going to scare away the only real potential buyer in this instance. I know, look, Shakhtar will understand that this is a real big opportunity to make such money in January. It's a very, very big opportunity for you to have your hands on 30 million euros upfront, and of course 30 million euros later as time actually progresses. So for me, the deal will happen. I don't think they will turn it down. I'm sorry. I don't think Shakhtar have the muscles to turn 65 million euros down. They don't have that financial ability. They don't have that financial muscle to turn down such amount of money. If they do, I will be totally amazed. I will be actually totally amazed. What they can do though is they can sit down on the table with Arsenal, tell us that maybe we want more money up front, maybe 40 million euros up front. Maybe we want some kind of, more bonuses and things like that. But they won't reject it outright. It's about a structure. It's a good deal. It's good money for a player like MYKHAYLO Modric. For this money, we can get Pedro Neto. For this money, we can get Moussa Diaby. For this money, we can get Marcus Thuram. We can get N'Golo Muani. We can get so many players for that amount of money. And Shakhtar will know it. In my opinion, there is no way they turn it down. There is no way this deal doesn't happen. I'm sorry. There is no way it doesn't happen. But talking about deals happening, guys. Yesterday, again, Fabrizio Romano, they ghosted him, confirming that Cody Gakpo is no longer available for selection between Arsenal and Manchester United. Cody Gakpo has signed a deal with Liverpool. A 6-year deal has been agreed between him and Liverpool. PSV Eindhoven also did announce on their website, an official sites, that they had agreed a deal with Liverpool for the signing of Cody Gakpo. It's a bargain. It's an absolute bargain. And I say this, that his lack of ability to beat players in 1v1 situations in wide areas is the only reason I understand that we didn't sign him. It's the only reason that I will agree that we didn't actually go for him. It's the only reason that I will listen to. I don't want to listen to all this kind of bullshit that he's not good enough, or that boy is quality. That boy is magic. And for 37 million euros, PSV are absolute mugs. They are absolute imbeciles. How in the world do you sell a player who has had 21 goal involvements in 14 games for 37 million euros? Where in the world do you see that happen? Where in the world has that ever happened? I'm amused. I'm amused by their weak transfer negotiations. I'm really amused. But then I'm really sad that we haven't got Cody Gakpo, because look, in what we're trying to do, Cody Gakpo would be a perfect fit for Arsenal. A player who can play everywhere on that front 3 line. A player who is very young. A player whose valuation is just going to grow. A player who's going to keep on getting better. And a player who I think is a very good replacement of Gabriel Jesus down through the middle. But he's going to go to Liverpool anytime now. The deal is just pending medicals. So there is nothing for us to talk about anymore when it comes to Cody Gakpo. Guys, he's gone. Okay? He's gone. he's gone. We can't talk about him anymore. But who we can actually talk about is Joao Felix. Fabrizio Romano continues to say that Arsenal and Atletico Madrid are still in advanced intensive talks to sign Joao Felix. Arsenal want to get him on a loan deal. Atletico Madrid do agree to the conditions. It should be a loan deal without an option or obligation to buy. So there is a high possibility that we might see MYKHAYLO Modric and Joao Felix signing for Arsenal both in January. That would be a deal. That would be a deal breaker. That would be a season definer. That would be a season defining moment. If we can get both of them to sign, our chances of winning the Premier League come from 20%, where they are right now, to around 35%. I will say Newcastle can win it, because Newcastle, the way they are flying, the way they are playing football, unless they're deterred by injuries, they can't actually win the Premier League. They can win it because many people do not actually rate them. I rate them. I think they're a very, very proper side, and they can win it if Arsenal and Manchester City do not, okay? But the signing of Joao Felix actually means a lot to Arsenal. It means we have a player who directly replaces, who directly replaces Gabriel Jesus, in my opinion. I think yesterday we saw it in the Eddie Nketiah performance in the first half and maybe in some parts of the second half. The pressure got to him, and the quality he provides this team with is actually lacking. Actually, you could easily judge that apart from Eddie Nketiah, the rest of the other players were absolute quality. The rest of the players around him were making things happen. The rest of the players were actually doing whatever they can, but it was absolute quality. And you could see Eddie Nketiah struggling. You could see Eddie Nketiah as the missing man in the puzzle, okay? As the odd man out in the puzzle. If you put Eddie Nketiah out and replace him with a player like Joao Felix, we are more deadly. And I think with Joao Felix, there's a player who can score more goals than Gabriel Jesus. He's a player who can create more chances than Gabriel Jesus. Maybe his work rate is not as high as Gabriel Jesus is. Maybe, right? But the rest of the other aspects, very, very good a player is. Now, can we see both of them signing in January? The prospect of Joao Felix is very alive. 10 million euros? Yeah, it can happen. It really, really can happen. And when you listen back to the words of Mikel Arteta and the confidence he was actually speaking with, saying, we can get a striker, we can afford a striker, whether it is Africa, whether it's from League 1, League 2, France, Spain, we can afford a striker, and I guarantee you that we can get him. Okay? So the confidence with which he was speaking shows Joao Felix is a deal we can do. And us going into bid for MYKHAYLO Modric at 60 million euros, it means that is a deal we are also sure we can do. So I cannot turn down the possibility now that we can sign both of them. I can't turn down the possibility that Arsenal could find themselves in a situation where we have two classy forwards coming in the winter transfer window. But if we do that, clubs must definitely watch out for Arsenal Football Club. Now, Mikel Arteta has told the board that he wants January signings to be done very, very quickly. If you're watching, I don't know what you were watching yesterday as you were watching the game, but I was watching Bein Sport, and that was also confirmed during the match as well. Mikel Arteta has told the Arsenal board and the authorities that he wants January transfer signings to be done as quickly and fast as possible. And I'm going to say that again. He has told the board he wants January transfer signings to be done as quickly and as fast as possible. So I won't be surprised if in the next 1 week we have a done deal. In the second week we have a done deal, and then our transfer business actually closes. And I think this is kind of genius from Mikel Arteta. Very, very genius, right? Because the next 10 games that Arsenal have are decisive. You have City, Tottenham, and Manchester United and Newcastle. 4 members of the top 4 in the next 10 games. And then in the last 10 games of the season, again, you have 4 members of the top 4. So what I think we need to do is go out in January, sign players very quickly, allow them integrate into the side. Maybe by the time we play Brighton, we should have a deal closed. By the time we play Newcastle, we should have a done deal, okay? Then after Newcastle, I think it is Is it Manchester United after Newcastle? So by the time we play Manchester United, MYKHAYLO Modric should either be on the bench or should be starting that game straight away. So I think Mikel, this is very, very genius from him. He has realized that if you're going to win the title, you need more signings. But you need those signings to come in early so that they can actually help out with these congested games, so that they can actually help out with these very, very difficult games that are actually coming in. I think in many of the games we'll play, especially Newcastle, we will concede. To be honest, Newcastle will concede more than a goal, in my opinion. But how do you win that game? Scoring more goals, having players that can actually beat Newcastle. And for me, Joao Felix and MYKHAYLO Modric, you get them early, you have your hands on a pure goal. So let me know, guys, how excited are you in MYKHAYLO Modric's bid? How disappointed are you in Cody Gakpo moving to Liverpool on a bargain? And what excites you more? The possibility of Joao Felix and MYKHAYLO Modric, or the possibility of MYKHAYLO Modric and Yuri Tillemans? I'll speak to you in the next one. Follow me on Instagram, Cossy Arsenal's Arsenal podcast. Follow me on TikTok, Cossy's Arsenal podcast as well, and you can also follow me on Twitter, Cossy Arsenal. Facebook, it is Cossy's Arsenal podcast still, and I'll speak to you right in the next one.